ਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਾੜਾ ਤੇਰਾ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਮੂਸੇਵਾਲਾ ਤੇਰਾ ਦਿਲ ਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਾੜਾ ਤੇਰਾ ਦਿਲ ਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਾੜਾ ਤੇਰਾ ਦਿਲ ਦਾ
object which are far from us, and this frames on camera property. And if
this is going to be the only video that you need to watch on YouTube to master the 3D camera. So we're basically going to cover everything from zero to hero. If you're a beginner, do not miss a single second. But if you're a pro, after this video, you'll say, how didn't I know this? So without further ado, let us dive right into it. To make everything clear, I'm going to tell you exactly what we're going to go through in this video. By the end of this video, you will master these things. So first thing first, we're going to master the types of cameras. Then we're going to move to the presets. I'm going to show you exactly the difference between each one and how to use it as well as when to use it. After that, we're going to the views. I'm going to explain it from zero to hero, as well as we're going to apply on this by creating a simple animation. I mean, it's not simple, but probably simple for me, but it feels complicated. You know, it's just simple and complicated. We're going to cover everything related to the views, so stay tuned. After that, we're moving to the angles. We've got the views here, as well as the angle of views. If you don't know it yet and you don't know how to use it, you have a big problem. After that, we're moving to the nulls. I'm going to show you exactly how to use nulls effectively to create seamless movements using the 3D camera. Then we're moving to the graph editor. I'm gonna show you exactly how to make the keyframes smooth. I'm gonna show you how to transition from movement to another, like a pro, literally. And last but not least, we're gonna create animations and movements using the 3D camera. We're gonna literally apply on everything that we've done. So let us jump right into it. So before we hop into it, I just wanted to let you know that we've got a free community. We help each other there. If you 10 times of us going to help presets, you can choose as a start. The first thing that I would do, I would absolutely create a new composition. Here from the presets, you can choose which dimension that you want to work with. We usually work with either portrait one, which is for reels and short form content, and the landscape one, which is for YouTube and long form content. I'm gonna choose landscape for now and then hit OK. Now I've got my composition ready. I'll create my camera by holding Control, Shift, Alt, and hit C. Oh, what that dialog settings that pops up. Don't worry, a lot of people get confused of all of this, but after the explanation, everything will become clear. The first thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna explain the types of the cameras and apply this practically. And after that, we'll go back to the presets and after that, the other settings. So we've got here in the types, 2 types of cameras, 1-node camera and 2-node camera. I'm gonna give you only one difference, and this is going to be like the only difference that you need to know in order to not forget what the 1-node camera does and what the other one, which is the 2-node camera, does. The 1-node camera, basically it rotates around itself. Here. This is the only thing? Yeah, this is the only thing that I want you to know. Why? Because we have the 2-node camera, which rotates around something called the point of interest here. So the 1-node camera rotates around itself here. The 2-node camera rotates around something called the point of interest. I know the talk itself won't deliver the message, so let us apply right now. Let me go back to the 1-node camera and hit OK. Now I've got my camera ready, but I need a layer to practice on. So I'm gonna just create a simple shape layer, which is going to be circle, center it vertically and horizontally, set the anchor point in the middle, and in order to separate this shape layer from the other ones that we're gonna create, I'm gonna just label it with the number 1. Let me scale it down, set the anchor point in the middle, create. I'm gonna just label it with the number 1. Let me scale it down, set the anchor point in the middle, select both, and then center them vertically and horizontally. But I still can't know they are in the middle of the composition or not. I can't even know. So I'm gonna just enable the title for the action save. So I know exactly where's the middle. No. So I'm gonna just enable the title for the action save. So I know exactly where's the middle of the composition. So I'm gonna just select both and then put them in the middle, just like this. Or if you don't wanna control both each time manually, the easiest thing to do it is to parent the number with the shape layer, since we're only gonna control the shape layer. The thing to do it is to parent the number with the shape layer, since we're only gonna control the shape layer. After we parent it, we can check the shape box from here, and now I don't need to control the shape layer. After we parent it, we can check the shape box from here, and now I don't need this layer in the timeline. What would I do? I would head the shape box here. Bam, it has been hidden. Now I can see it in the timeline, but I can see it in the composition here. Now I can control both from only the shape layer. So if I need to put this in the middle of the composition, I would select the shape layer and adjust it vertically and horizontally. Simple trick, but it's effective. So you don't have tons of layers in your timeline. Cool? Hopefully that is cool. Going back to our camera, which is our main subject. So I've created my camera, but I can't see it yet. what would I do is I need to play around the views. I'm gonna change this to 2 views. As you can see here, now I can see my camera. Don't worry about the views and the angle of views. I'm gonna just show it right now for the sake of explaining the difference between the 2 cameras. And after that, I will dive deep into it. Make sure to watch the video till the end. All right, I've got my camera, but I can't see the layer here. Why? Because it's not 3D layer. So I have to hit the 3D button. Now I've got the shape layer, but I didn't get the number. Why? Because the number is not 3D, so I have to bring it back to the timeline by disabling the shy layer. I got it back. So now I can make it 3D and then hide it again. I got it back here. Now I've got my camera ready. The only difference that I was talking about is this is one node camera. It only rotates around itself. Let me show you. If I need to rotate it, I'll have to hit R on the keyboard to open the orientations. And then if I play around the orientation, you'll see that the camera rotates around itself. The camera here is fixed and only rotates around itself. But if I want to play around the position, I have to hold Shift and hit P on the keyboard to show both the orientation and the position together. If I move it up, you'll see that the whole camera moves. If I move it right, the whole camera moves left, the same happens, down, the same happens. It's not logged with anything. So let me reset this back to 0 and this as well. Now I've got my camera back as it was from the beginning. What we notice here is that the position and the rotation are separate properties. So if I want to create a movement that involves both, at that time, I need to adjust each one individually. Let me show you. I'm gonna create right now a movement that is going to show you exactly the difference between both. The movement will be like this. I'm gonna just rotate this shape layer by minus 90 degrees. I have to hit R on the keyboard and then rotate it from the x-axis here, minus 90 degrees. Now I can see this layer from the bottom, but in the custom view, I can see it from the top. So I need this camera to move all the way up here and then rotate it from the x-axis here, minus 90 degrees. Now I can see this layer from the bottom, but in the custom view, I can see it from the top. So I need this camera to move all the way up here and then look down to this layer so I can see it in the active view from the top. How do I do this? I'm gonna show you. Since the position and the orientation are separate dimensions, they're not locked with each other, I have to play with them individually. So I'm gonna hit keyframe at the beginning of the composition, another keyframe on the orientation. I'm gonna just move 10 frames forward and then zoom in to the layer, another keyframe on the orientation. I'm gonna just move 10 frames forward and then zoom in to the layer. After that, zoom up. I'm gonna just move 10 frames forward and then zoom in with the composition, another keyframe on the orientation. I'm gonna just move 10 frames forward and then zoom in to the layer. After that, zoom up. So as you just move 10 frames forward and then zoom in to the layer. After that, on the orientation, I'm gonna just move 10 frames forward and then zoom in to another show you to this from the access here layer. Now I've got the difference between both. The movement will be like this. I'm gonna just rotate this shape layer by minus 90 degrees. I have to hit R on the keyboard and then rotate it from the x-axis here, minus 90 degrees. Now I can see this layer from the bottom, but in the custom view, I can see it from the top. So I need this camera to move all the way up here and then look down to this layer so I can see it in the active view from the top. How do I do this? I'm gonna show you. Since the position and the orientation are separate dimensions, they're not locked with each other. I have to play with them individually. So I'm gonna hit keyframe at the beginning of the composition, another keyframe on the orientation. I'm gonna just move 10 frames forward and then zoom in to the layer. After that, zoom up. So as you can see, the movement is slow. I need it to be fast. So if I hold shift, it becomes faster than before with the same drag distance. Fast. So if I hold shift, it becomes faster than before with the same drag distance. That is cool. I need to zoom in a bit. So I think now the camera, but it doesn't look at the layer. It looks straight, as you can see here on the active camera, because the layer is down here, as you can see. But I need the layer to be visible here in the active camera. So I have to play around the rotation to move down. As you can see, now I start to see the layer from the top. Let me zoom into the layer. Bam. I got the layer back in the active camera. I don't see the layer from the front. I see actually from the top. So in order to do this movement, I had to play around around both. They're actually from the top. So in order to do this movement, I had to play around both the rotation and the position, as you can see. What about if I want to make it a lot easier than ever? Here where the two node camera comes. So let me disable this for now. But before disabling it, let me label it with the yellow color so that we know exactly that this is the one node camera. Rename it. And let me disable it for now. Now we've got the layer back. Again as it was. Let me create a new camera by holding Ctrl Shift Alt and hit C on the keyboard. But this time I'm gonna choose 2-node camera and hit OK. What is this? We didn't have this line before. What line? This line, this one. We didn't have as well this point. What this point? It's called the point of interest that I was talking about. So let me show you when I move this camera, what exactly happens. If I hit P on the keyboard, I'll open the position. If I start playing with the position settings, you'll see that the camera moves and rotates at the same time. And that is crazy. Once it moves, it's logged to what's called the point of interest here. It's always looking at the point of interest wherever I move it, whether it's right, left, up, down. It's always logged and aimed to the point of interest, which make it a lot easier to create any movement with only the position without using the rotation. So if I want to create the previous movement, let me reset this back and let me show you with just one mouse drag, I can literally create the previous movement easier than ever. Let me go to the beginning of the composition, hit keyframe on the position, then move 10 frames forward. Here, I'm gonna just only do two things. I'm gonna zoom in and go up. That's it. Let me show you. I'm gonna just zoom in, as you can see here, and just go up. Bang. I got the same previous movement with only one mouse drag. If I turn on the one node camera, you'll see we've created the same movement. This is actually the one node camera. It's labeled with the yellow color. And this is the two node camera. Let me label it with the red color. I'll rename it as well. We're creating the same movement in the two node camera using only the position. But if I selected the one node camera and hit U on the keyboard, you'll see like we used two properties to create the same exact movement that we've done. Let me make it simple for all of you. For complex movement, we usually go for the one node camera because it doesn't have a point of interest locking its aim. You have more freedom to play around both the rotation and the position individually for dynamic movements. But for simple and easier movements, the two node camera, absolutely the best choice. Let us break down the 3D camera presets in After Effects so you can finally stop guessing which one to choose. We're not actually here using a real camera. It's just a virtual camera inside of After Effects. So let me explain it to you like I'm talking to a 10-year-old child. First of all, let me bring in the camera by holding Control Shift Alt and hit C. Now I got this. Dialog settings. Now these are the presets as you can see here. We've got 50 millimeters, 20, 24, 28, 35, 50, 80, 135, 200. Which one to choose? I'm gonna just make it simple for all of you. Let us start with the first one, 50 millimeter. And let us hit OK. Now I've got my camera here, but I can't see it yet. So what I need to do is to switch the views to two views, then switch the angle of view to whatever I want, probably custom view one. Now that is fine. I can see clearly my camera. As I told you, this is not an explanation of the views. I'm gonna dive deep into it later in the video. Let me first rename the camera. So this is the 15 millimeters camera. I'm gonna hit P on the keyboard. So the only thing that I want you to notice here is my cursor on the screen. So see when I zoom in, I'm fully zoomed into the layer right now, and the cursor has stopped here. Let me show you. Here, in this point, right? So this is the 15 millimeter camera. Here, in this point layer right now, and the cursor has stopped here. Let me show you. Here, in this point, right? So this is the 15 millimeter camera. In order to fully zoom into the layer, I had to just move a little bit on the screen here. Why? Because it's 15 millimeter. It's actually closer to the camera, as you can see on the right view. Let me reset the position back and create another one, which is, for instance, going to be 35. And as you can see here, it's a bit far away from the layer. This is the 15 millimeter camera. I named it here, but I don't know what happened. Let me name it again. And this is the 35 millimeter camera. I'm gonna do the same thing on the 35 millimeter. And I want you to notice my cursor on the screen. So I'm gonna just zoom in. Now I'm fully zoomed into the layer. And as you can see here, my cursor just stopped here. This is the 35 millimeter. What is this? As we go up in the focal length, say from 35 millimeters to 135 millimeters, the camera acts as it moves far away from the object. But because it's zoomed in more, the subject looks close and the zoom feels a lot longer. So the point here is how far the camera from the object. Let me reset the position. Now both cameras give us the same angle, the same wide lens, because this is the size of our frame. It's always adjusted automatically on the size of the frame, whether it's portrait one or landscape one, HD, 4K, whatever. Let me show you. Let me adjust the composition settings. Let me choose the portrait one and hit OK. As you can see, the camera automatically has been adjusted on the size of my frame. Let me hit Control Z to go back and let me create a new camera. So I'm gonna go right now for probably the 50 millimeter camera. Oh, as you can see here, once we go up, as I told you, the camera goes far from the object itself. So let me zoom in using the 50 millimeter camera, but let me rename it first and hit P on the keyboard. Now I'll start zoom in and notice my cursor on the screen. Now I pass the first camera. I'm gonna pass the second camera. I'm gonna go, now I'm fully zoomed in to the layer. As you can see, my cursor on the screen here on the right side, it actually has stopped here in this point. So this is the 50 millimeter camera. This is the whole point of the lenses of these cameras. As I told you, we're not actually holding a real camera here. It's just a virtual camera. If I reset the position back, as you can see, it gives us the same angle of view. But the thing that it changes here is that once we go up with the focal length, the camera moves away from the object itself, as you can see. Let me create a new camera. This time it's going to be like, for instance, 135. Let me see. Oh my God. As you can see here, the camera went far away from the object. Here's the camera and here's the object itself. So notice when I zoom in here and I reached the end of the screen on the right side, as you can see, notice my cursor. And I didn't even zoom the half of the distance. I need to go back and zoom in again. And I didn't even reach to get the layer in a full screen size. I have to go back and do it one more time, a little bit, in order to be fully zoomed in to the layer. So I make it fit the frame size. Let us play with the other settings for all the cameras and let's see what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna go up. See, the cursor stopped here. I'm gonna just hit Control Z. I'm gonna go left. As you can see, the cursor stopped here. So I'm gonna go for the second one, but in order to make it dominant, you have to put it above everything. So I'm gonna just bring it up. I can bring it up with my mouse, or let me hit Control Z. I can just simply hit Control, close square bracket, and bam, it went above everything. So let me play with the other movements. I'm gonna just go up. As you can see, it's the same distance. Let me hit Control Z. I'm gonna go left. As you can see, it's just the same distance. So the thing that has been affected here is the Z-axis, this blue arrow, as you can see here. The Z-axis, we simply use it when we wanna zoom in or zoom out. This is the only thing that is going to be affected when you change the length of the camera, whether it's a 50 millimeters, 135 or 200 millimeters camera. So based on this, you can decide which preset you use. But most of the time we go for 35 millimeters or 50 millimeters, just because they are easy to work with and they give us that natural look that our eyes are used to. Now we're talking about the views and the angle of views. I promise you, after this part, you will not face any problems with them. So let us start right away. Let me go to this composition and let us see this simple animation.
Kontakt melden, gibt es trotzdem immer viele Leute, die einfach Zeit nicht haben, sich zu melden. Und da bleiben wir sichtbar über mehrere Kanäle hinweg. Das nennt sich Rehash. Immer wieder präsent sein, ohne zu nerven. So wächst das Vertrauen.
Cool. So, in order to create this animation, forget about the rest. Forget about this. In order to create this one, let me show you.
Schritt zu melden. Und da bleiben wir sichtbar über mehrere Kanäle hinweg. Das nennt sich
Let me show you.
Schritt zu melden. Und da bleiben wir sichtbar über mehrere Kanäle hinweg. Das nennt sich
Let me put this on mute and let me play the video. So this animation, as you can see, it's always difficult. I would say like pretty hard, unless you use more than one view. Let me delete this and go back to our composition and let us recreate this animation and explain everything related to the views and the angle of views. So let me bring in back the number so that I can duplicate it. Let me select both and then Control D to duplicate it, then Control Shift, close the square bracket to bring them up. One more time, I'm gonna duplicate it, Control Shift, close square bracket to bring them up. One more time, which is the last time, Control D, then Control Shift, close square bracket to bring it up. Now I've got 4 layers. Let me pair parent each number with its shape layer. I'm gonna just parent this with its shape layer. The second one, the third one, the fourth one. Now I'm gonna just enable the title and save action so I know where is the middle of the composition and where are my edges. I'm gonna control the shape layer by hitting P on the keyboard and then drag it to the right. Something around here. The last one, I'm gonna hit P on the keyboard, then drag it to the left. The one in the middle, I'm gonna drag it a little bit to the left. And this one to the right. I'm gonna just change the numbers, this one, as it is. This is going to be 2, this is 3, and this is 4. After I labeled all the shape layers with numbers, I'm gonna just hit the shape button here, and then I'll hide them all. So I can control each shape layer with its number from only the shape layer. Cool. Now if I need to set up the scene and adjust the layers so that they rotate in the shape of circle or a square or whatever, now I'm on the one view layout. Let us try to adjust it with only one view. Let me show you exactly what I'm gonna do. So I need to put them in the shape of circle. I need to put the first one here, the second one here, for instance, the third one here, the fourth one here, right? One here, one here, one here, one here, something like this. So in order to do this with one view, as I told you, it's pretty hard. So if I need to put this here and then probably drag it to the z-axis far away, and this drag it far away, this here, and then probably drag it to the z-axis far away, and this drag it far away, and then put it here. This as well, number 3 as well. Let me drag it to here probably. And then the fourth one, I'll just put it here. Now I cannot see anything. Here's the problem. I am forced right now now to use more than one view in order to see it from the top, from the bottom, probably the right or the left, to align each number with the other one so the animation would be smooth. I would basically change the views to 2 views. Now I've got more than one view, right? But I still can see it from the front. I need to see it from the top. Here where the angle of views come. So I'm gonna just change the angle of view, but I need to make sure which one I change for, whether it's this or this. From where do I know? When you just left click on this, you'll see that the blue arrow right here appears. That means I'm selecting this view. So from there, I can simply change the angle of view for this view. So I need to see it, for instance, from the top. Now I can see my layers from both views. The top view here, as you can see, and the front view here, right? So as you can see here in the top, they're actually scattered among. They're not structured at all. So this is the last one, as I told you. Let me just bring it to the left a little bit. And this is the last one, as you can see, it's selected. So I need to bring it here, something around here. I need to bring this to the right from here. And I need to just bring in this closer to the camera, and this as well closer to the camera. Now I need to switch to more than 2 views. Why? Because I need everything to be well aligned together. For instance, the number 4, I need it to be exactly aligned with the number 1 on the same line here. I need to switch to 4 views. Now I've got 4 views. I can literally see my layers from any angle of view. But before I change the angle of view from here, I need to make sure that I'm selecting the view that I need to change there with a link in the description. The 3 to orient is going to be like the same. Bring the views. And I'm pretty what you need. Let's go. So what we've gone through, that is all. Jump in the comments down below and let me know exactly what you need. Let's go. So what we've gone through, that is all what you need to know to create crazy movements. And that's what we're gonna do right now. After explaining the null objects, we're gonna apply all what we've learned to create insane movements so that you can be able to create gonna apply all what we've learned to create insane movements so that you can be able to create any movement that you want with the 3D camera. Let us create a new camera here. Jump in the comments down below and let me know exactly what you need. Let's go. So what we've gone through, that is all what you need to know to create crazy movements. And that's what we're gonna do right now. After explaining the null objects, we're gonna apply all what we've learned to create insane movements so that you can be able to create any movement that you want with the 3D camera. Let us create a new camera here. We explained the types of cameras, the presets, and the rest of those things. Do not worry about it at all. You don't have to know it. You're not holding a real camera. You're not filming a movie. It's just virtual camera, and we use it to create some movements inside of After Effects. That's it. Forget about the zoom, forget about the angle of view. The angle of view itself, instead of playing around it from here, you can simply choose the preset that you want, for instance, 20mm, and it'll be automatically changed instead of just playing around it from here. That's it. And the focal length as well. It's parented with the angle of view. So when I change the angle of view, those three things are being affected. So don't worry about it. They all boils down to the preset. Once you choose the preset that you want, they'll be adjusted automatically. Because if you play around it from here, it'll give you here a custom preset. That means you have to change each one manually, and they all parented with each others. So instead of doing all of this, you can simply choose the preset from here and bam, it'll be automatically adjusted and ready to work with. Cool. Hopefully that is cool. So let me cancel this from here and let me delete this and let us explain the null objects and apply immediately by creating any movement that we want, just like this.
Ja, ich lieb es, wie du tanzt und ich lieb es, wie du riechst. Und nach der Party rauchen wir zusammen. Mein Baby ist gut drauf, denn der Club hat heute auf. Sie hat ein Bauchnabelpiercing, ihre Freundin hat das auch.
Alright, so as you can see here, it's all about movements and some effects. You know, nothing else. I have already explained it inside of the Blade course. But here, I'm apply by creating the same movements using null objects and cameras. So let us start right away. The first thing that we need to do is to create our null object. You can do this by right click here and then new, then go to null object. It'll be automatically created here. Or you can go up here to the layer and then new. After that, down here, you'll find the null object. Bam. Or you can hold Control, Alt, Shift, then hit Y. You'll get a null object instantly. Or if you don't want to do anything from what we've said, you can simply one click here from the Motion Tools panel. Bam, we got it here. So you got multiple ways to create null objects. Let us delete those and only work with one. Now, as you can see here, the layer is a 3D layer, but the null object is not a 3D layer. So we have to make it 3D. After that, we need to create our camera. So I'm gonna just right click here, new, create a camera. What is this again? So I have to choose the type of the camera? No. In this case, you don't have to choose the type of the camera. Why? You've been explaining the types of the cameras for a long time, and now you're telling me to not choose which camera I work with? Yup, I'm telling you this. If I'm only going to work with the camera itself, no parenting with null objects, then I need to define which camera I'm using. But if I'm planning to parent the camera to the null object and use it from there, then I don't really need to care about which type I choose. Let me show you. So let us try both. I'm gonna first choose the one node camera. Let me hit OK. Now I've got my camera, which is one node camera, and here is my null object. So I'm gonna just parent the camera to the null object. And let me change the views to 2 views and then change the angle of views to custom view 1, for instance. Yeah. So I've got probably 135 millimeters camera. So I'm just simply delete this camera and create a new camera. Control Shift Alt C, and then change it simply 35 for easier controlling. Then I'm gonna zoom in. I'm gonna parent the camera to the null object. I'm gonna just put the null object above. And yeah, so after parenting the camera to the null object, do you see this point that appears here? This is the null object. If I selected the camera, you'll see that the camera has been selected here. So if I move the camera, that means I'm controlling the camera itself. I'm not controlling the null object. The null object is fixed. It doesn't move. But if I control the camera from the null object itself, now I'm controlling the whole camera from here. Let me delete this. From this point, whether I move it up or down, left or right, even I rotate it, let me hold Shift R, then rotate it, I'm literally controlling all the movements from this point. Now, I don't care about the camera itself because I have a new point of interest that I move, whether I zoom in, zoom out, whatever, I do whatever movement that I want. So let me reset this. And let me reset this as well. And let me delete this camera and create another one, which is probably the 2 node camera. So I'm gonna hit OK. As you can see, I've got my 2 node camera. Here's my point of interest. This is the camera, and this is the point of interest. And this is the line that the camera rotates around. Let me parent this camera with the null object. Let me move this null object above inches. But if I rotate it from here, now we're talking differently. Now I'm controlling the same null object. This is a 2-node camera, and it rotates and moves the same way as the 1-node camera using the null object. What you get out of this is if you're only gonna create your movements using only the camera, so now you have to choose which type of camera that you'll use. But if the null object comes in, go ahead and work with any type of camera because you'll be controlling the whole camera from the null object itself. Cool? Hopefully that is more than cool. So we're going to start with the movement. The first role